Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 231 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running, at the age of 31, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year. So me going for 1,500 miles is over a 50% increase in the amount of miles as opposed to last year. And me going for 365 days is over a 100% increase in the amount of days I'll be running as opposed to last year. Not to mention, this is all days in a row with no days off. Also within this time frame, I've challenged myself to run two big major races. One of those races being a 50K trail race. That was the Yankee Springs 50K trail race in Middleville, Michigan. I got that finished on June 5th, 2021, day 156 of my journey, I believe. I got it finished in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. So I'm officially an ultra runner. But also within this time frame, I've challenged myself to run the Detroit Free Press Marathon. And I decided to run the Motor City Challenge within that. So that actually entails me to run the marathon and run the competitive 1 mile and the competitive 5K the day before the actual marathon. That is coming up in October, and I'm really looking forward to that. And she's helped me out right now to tell you the actual mileage. So mileage for the day today, I put in 1.5 miles for the day, keeping it short. That put me at 11.3 miles for the week, which put me at 64.9 miles for the month, which put me at 1,067.7 miles for the year. Let's focus in on these monthly miles. So every single month, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, and I also start a coinciding fundraiser to try to raise money and awareness for that charity. So for the first 7 months of the year, I was able to raise money for 7 great charities. Now we're sitting here within the 8th month, the month of August, and we are raising money for the National Psoriasis Foundation. I chose this charity this month because the month of August is Psoriasis Awareness Month, as well as psoriasis is something that I have and I have dealt with for a majority of my life. So if you would like to donate to this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or the Defining Discipline Facebook story. Within either of those stories, you will, or my personal page's Instagram or my personal page's Facebook story. With any of those stories, you click on the link, it'll open up the Facebook page where you're able to make your donations. All donations that get made go directly to this fundraiser and charity. Facebook is not taking any portion of your donations. I do know times are tough, and not everyone is actually able to donate, and if that is the case, and you'd still like to help out, the next best thing you could do is to click that share button because we're trying to raise awareness. So clicking that share button really goes a long way, and if you do click the share button, make sure you ask other people to share it, because again, the main thing we're trying to do this month is not only raise funds but raise awareness for this charity. Other than that, we can quickly talk about the word of the day. I normally try to do a word of the day because I've been trying to expand my vocabulary, and the word of the day today is winnow. Winnow can mean to remove people or things that are less important or desirable, or generally to make a list of possible choices smaller. Winnow, that is the word of the day. So you can tell I screenshotted it because I like it. Other than that, I've been trying to challenge myself to do a little bit of reading, but have not been having such a good luck with that, with the amount of hours and time I have been putting in at work. So, today's episode 231. Today's episode's theme is going to be sponge. So we're going to talk about sponge today because I got a little sponge right here next to me, as you can tell, that's just absorbing everything. Looking at the computer, thinking, hey, what's this? Why does that person on there look like me? Why is Dad just talking? And just looking around and absorbing everything. So I am trying to be the best version of myself possible for this little munchkin right here, for this little sponge. Hey, don't touch me there, Dad. Don't play with my ears, Dad. So that's all today's episode is really about, is trying to realize that not only is she a sponge, but I truly believe that us as people are sponges. I think whoever we associate with, and the more people that we surround ourselves with, our peers, we're going to kind of absorb their feelings and their thoughts. That's kind of why we fall into these different peer groups, and we absorb and really portray whatever is around us. So knowing that we can be sponges within our own lives, why not try to be what I've tried to do these past couple years while working on myself, is trying to attach myself to positive things and positive people, and trying to listen to positive music and try to absorb all the positiveness I can do, that I can absorb at one time. And it's truly helped out. I've noticed the more I take in of just, positive affirmations and positive thoughts, and trying to hang out with more positive people that are doing things that are more challenging, and just everything I've been really putting out there, I've been trying to absorb, I've been also putting out there. So just like this little munchkin here, we can all be sponges within our lives, and that is something I try to really think about on a day-to-day basis within even just the media I'm consuming, and the news I'm listening to, and watching. I noticed the more I've tried to just put off any kind of just political rhetoric or anything like that, the more happier I've been, because I'm not literally absorbing that garbage, and it's really helped me focus on my life, and focus on myself, and focus on my family, which is a great thing. But also, like I said, this little sponge here is going to be absorbing for the next, especially, I want to say 18 years, but really, she'll be absorbing for her whole entire life. And the best thing I can do is be the best version of myself for her to look up to, and to have as an example. And I'm trying to be not only a good example for her, but for myself, for my wife, for everyone. I'm trying to be the best example I possibly can be, because yet again, I do believe we are all sponges, and all it took was me to find people that led by example to change my life. So I'm hoping that if I continue to try to lead my life the right way, that not even intentionally trying to help and lead by example to other people's lives, but I hope in return of me focusing on myself, will in return people will absorb that like a sponge, and will work on themselves as well. And that's kind of the whole purpose of this podcast, is to work on myself on an individual level, because I truly believe by working on yourself on an individual level, we can truly change the world. I think if we all focused on becoming better versions of ourselves, the world could become a better version overnight. So that is all this episode is truly about, is about being a sponge and about getting your hands all wet by licking them. You little munchkin. How are those fingers? So, episode 231, it is about being a sponge. So for your daily discipline today, it is to recognize that as human beings, we are sponges, and whatever environment we are absorbing and we put ourselves into is what we're also going to put out. It's also what we're going to feel. It's also going to be just what we're in. So try to be a sponge and try to put yourself in a good environment. Try to put yourself in a good mood. Try to surround yourself with positive people. Try to surround yourself with people that are out there trying to do things and maybe have goals that you would like. So really try to go out there and absorb the world in a better part of the world. That is going to be your daily discipline for the day, is to recognize that. And as well as to recognize that as much as you are a sponge for everything around you is also a sponge for you. So try to live the best life as possible. So anyone that could be learning from you or watching you or absorbing anything from you could be absorbing some good bless you, some good things, so in return that'll hopefully make the world a better place. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for following along and listening. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. This is episode 231. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, a subscribe, a follow, a share on our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok, our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been listening along on. Other than that, this is episode, like I said, 231. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 232. And until then, peace out. Thanks. Say bye. Over here. Look up here. Look up there. Hey, look up there. Say bye. Bye.